No public social media? No driving on public roads? Constantly being followed everywhere by strange men in suits? Keep watching to find out what else presidents' children have to put up with on a daily basis. It is very uncommon nowadays to find a teenager that does not have public social media accounts, especially on apps like TikTok and Instagram. Unfortunately, presidents' children are expected to steer clear of public platforms and instead use private accounts. Since every move they make is watched by the public, it makes sense that they would want to keep what they share online under wraps. Malia and Sasha Obama are known for having private social media accounts. Michelle Obama confirmed in an interview with Oprah Winfrey in February 2020 that she made the decision to not follow either of her daughters online. However, she noted that she still has people follow and keep track of the girls' accounts. The former First Lady said, "It's better for them to be checked by somebody other than me." During Donald Trump's presidency, former First Lady Melania Trump confirmed that Barron Trump did not have any social media platforms and that he was more interested in sports instead. One of the many simple joys in life is cruising in the car with your friends, blasting loud music on the radio with the windows down. Unfortunately for presidents' children, specifically Malia and Sasha Obama, this was strictly not allowed. One notable exception is when, according to Vogue, President Obama let Sasha's prom date drive her to the school dance, with the Secret Service following closely behind, of course. Regarding her family's life during her husband's presidency, Michelle Obama noted in her book Becoming, normally for security reasons, Malia and Sasha weren't allowed to ride in anyone else's car. Since the president is not allowed to drive on public roads either, Sasha and Malia were never able to just hop in the car with their mom or dad for a cruise. Although it may seem like the first family gets to live a lifestyle of never-ending luxury, that is not necessarily the case. Presidents and their families have been given extravagant gifts from foreign dignitaries over the years, but unfortunately they can only accept them if they are valued within a certain price range. As of January 2014, gifts given to the president, first lady, or their children cannot be valued any more than $375. According to The Atlantic, any gift that the first family receives is sent to the National Archives and is considered government property. Basically, the better the gift and the more expensive it is, the less likely the family can actually keep it. However, if the president wants to keep a gift that is valued above the $375 limit, they are expected to pay out of pocket at face value. For example, NBC News reported that in February 2016, the Obama family was given an exclusive parking pass, allowing them to watch any sporting event they wanted at the United Center. This also included the games of the former president's hometown team, the Chicago Blackhawks. Unfortunately, this was one of those situations where they were unable to keep the gift. A common misconception about living in the White House is that the first family is served an endless amount of super high-quality food on a daily basis. Considering that they have some of the most talented chefs catering to their every need, it's hard to believe that they don't eat lavishly every once in a while. Although it is possible to eat exquisite foods for every meal of the day, the president and the first lady are expected to pay the price of those fancy dining experiences. Without their parents' permission, the president's children won't be dining on the finest steaks or lobsters. While appearing on Jimmy Kimmel Live in 2018, former First Lady Michelle Obama confirmed that although rent and staff costs are free with the White House residence, the family has to pay for their own food bills at the end of the day.
You want some exotic fruit? Yes, ma'am, we'll get that right away. And then you get the bill for a peach. And it's like, that was a $500 peach.
Just like the President of the United States, First Ladies and Presidents' kids must have Secret Service accompany them whenever they leave the White House, so their safety and security is ensured at all times. According to CBS News, President Barack Obama signed a law that every former U.S. president and their spouse can accept a lifetime of Secret Service protection, though they can decline it if they wish. This overrode the 1994 law limiting protection to future former presidents and families to only 10 years once their term ended. Presidents' children are eligible to receive this protection as well until they are 16 years old. In January 2021, ABC News reported that former President Donald Trump decided to grant protection for an additional 6 months after his term ended to his 4 adult children, their spouses, and select White House staff members. Although it isn't entirely strange for children to receive this extended protection, it's typically given to children who are minors or young adults who lived in the White House. It is not so much that the first children are completely forbidden from attending public school, but in practice, they are expected to learn at a private school instead. According to The Atlantic, it quickly became a norm for a U.S. president to send his children to a private school. During former President Donald Trump's term, his son Barron attended St. Andrew's Episcopal School in Maryland. And during their father's terms, Sasha and Malia Obama were taught at Sidwell Friends School in Washington, D.C. Private schools are preferred to ensure presidents' kids' safety and security, and to eliminate public exposure in a larger setting. Although first children have mainly attended private schools over the years, President Jimmy Carter sent his 9-year-old daughter, Amy Carter, to a D.C. public school in 1977. Even though he had the resources to send his daughter elsewhere, he outlined feelings on exclusive private schools by saying they allow the children of the political and economic elite to avoid public schools that are considered dangerous or inferior. One of the biggest restrictions that come with being in a presidential family is that the windows in every room of the White House, and even windows of cars, must remain shut at all times. After all, the president's family must be protected 24/7. In a conversation with Oprah Winfrey at the United States of Women Summit, former First Lady Michelle Obama recalled the time her daughter Sasha opened her bedroom window in the White House, and how people immediately called for Sasha to shut the window. Michelle Obama joked that it never happened again. This may seem like an easy rule to follow when you first think about it, but imagine being a kid and not being able to open a window on a nice spring day for fresh air. This was actually one of the things Michelle Obama was excited about the most when preparing to move out of the White House after former President Barack Obama's term ended.
I also want to do little things like, open a window.
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about your favorite people are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.